I've never worked with my sister. We've never run lines together, not even once. I mean, we talk about film sets, mostly gossip, you know? Hi, I'm Elle Fanning, and I'm going to take 10 with Deadline.
My father is a really good director, but he's a very difficult person. We can't really talk.
Gustav Borg! Thank you for coming. You working on anything new?
Something like that.
Kollar du med pappa? Nej, han drack inte. Eller ja, tror jag. Går det bra? Ja, det går bra.
Ja, det är väldigt tufft att vara skådespelerska, förstår du. Självförtroende och ditt behov av uppmärksamhet är olidligt.
Hvordan vet du det? Du känner oss ju inte sån egentligen. Ja.
Här i familjen är alla arga på pappa.
In Sentimental Value, you play the role of a famous actress. Did that feel like a very meta and surreal experience? Indeed, it did. There was a lot of metaness going on our film set. I am an American actress myself, going to Oslo for the first time to film a movie with Joachim, who is a Norwegian filmmaker. Much like my character, it's her first time in Oslo, and she's working with a foreign filmmaker, Gustav Borg. So there was a lot of metaness. And we also rehearsed in the house that we filmed in, and there were also rehearsal scenes. So we would be rehearsing the rehearsal scenes in the actual home, which of course it does feel a bit surreal. But at the same time, I'm playing a human being. She's very three-dimensional, so it's not just about her being an actress. But I loved the challenge of the layers within acting and the acted emotion versus the real emotion that we see Rachel give later. And that's something that Joachim and I talked a lot about with how to juxtapose both of those scenes. So I definitely could relate. I think Rachel also, you know, we find her, she's a bit lost when we first meet her in her career. She's trying to find her power and her agency as an actress. And she knows she's talented, but she hasn't been given that meaty role or that big opportunity yet. And I could relate to that for sure. Maybe not. She's not where I'm at now necessarily. We are different, but there were feelings that she felt that I have felt, and it was a very cathartic experience for me to get to play her. All right, on to the next. This is a big pack here. I gotta be short. What scene challenged you the most emotionally and why? This film is an emotional film, so every day was filled with feelings and new emotions and vulnerabilities, and Joachim is a director that creates an incredibly kind and safe environment where you can explore your vulnerabilities and open up. A scene that's kind of sticking out to me was this monologue scene that I have to give. And when I read the script for the first time, there's always a scene that you're a little bit scared of. And that was the scene that I felt the most nervous to do because of the layers within it. I think Renata's character has to later read the monologue, but her character relates to it in a very different way than mine does. So we had to show her talent because we wanted to make Rachel a good actress, but she was just miscast for the role. So ultimately, I'm playing someone, she has to be good, and you have to show that talent, but she's just not quite right. So it was calibrating that, and that scene particularly, how she relates to the monologue and when she gets emotional. It's real emotion, but it's also, I know this feeling well, like as an actor, you're in front of a director and you feel yourself getting emotional, and it's almost that excitement of pushing that emotion out to kind of perform for Gustav and show. And also Rachel's definitely, her confidence is building in that scene. So there was a lot of weight on that scene for me, but with Joachim, he's right by the camera, kind of coaxing things out of you and pulling things out of you. And, you know, I got to also surprise myself, which is the best thing about acting, is the things that are unplanned. You shot in Oslo. What Norwegian words have you learned or Norwegian foods you've fallen in love with? Yeah, it was my first time in Oslo. Gosh, there's one word, I literally know one word. Renata's taught it to me. think I'm going to butcher it, Svenna, and it means excited. So Svenna, and that's how she says it. So that's one I can remember now. Norwegian foods. No, I mean, when I was there, I wasn't exploring as much as I was working. I went to the National Gallery Museum, which was beautiful, and I remember getting gas station hot dogs, which are better there than they are here, I think. What was a highlight of working with this cast and crew on Sentimental Value? Filming this movie was a highlight of my working experience so far. I mean, Joachim, the crew that he assembles is also so in it together. We all have the same common goal. He allows for everyone to add their personal touch, so it's a real collaboration. And the films that he produces, I think you can tell that they are personal stories. Maybe not verbatim, but it has a touch of that, and that's why I think, you hope that they resonate with audiences so much. And we communicate telepathically in a way. He's very soulful and sensitive himself and in tune with your emotions, which is a really beautiful thing. And the cast in this film is just incredible. I learned so much. I felt like I grew as an actor. I could feel myself growing in real time on this set. Most of my scenes were with Stellan, who is Stellan Skarsgård. Joachim is not afraid of the unspoken. I think he puts a lot more on the unsaid than the dialogue, and he's not afraid of the silences. So as an actor, you just have to react and you're looking into Stellan's eyes, and you can just see his soul. You can see everything, and that informs your performance completely. What is something surprising you've learned from the Sentimental Value experience? I think a multitude of things. I don't think I was prepared for how personal I would feel about this movie going into it. There's a scene that I have with Stellan's character when I give up the part, which my character, she's a catalyst in many ways to the family and kind of serves as a surrogate daughter in a way. But she quickly realizes that she's not right for the part, and she does a very brave thing in giving it up. That's not something I've ever done in real life. I haven't gone so far in a part and had to and given it up, but I was very surprised on that day how emotionally I reacted to that scene. I know why, but I'm not gonna say why. But Joachim could see that in me, and I was very emotional that day for some reason, and I think I was surprised how much my personal life kind of bled into this, because I'm not someone that looks back on. I don't use personal experiences when I act, but sometimes they pop up and creep in, and I think that just tells you how good the writing is, and how human and true to life this film was. So that was surprising. If you could relive one film set experience from any time in your career, what would it be? Man, that's a lot. I don't know. I've been working since I was 2, so I'm going back in the baby album of film sets I've been on. I've had some great experiences. Maybe we'll do The Great. That was the TV show that I was on. I got to produce that show. I really found a power in myself on that set. I feel like my confidence grew, and Catherine the Great, she was the closest to my real personality, and I don't know if it's because I informed her or she informed me, but that cast we just had a blast, and it was so much fun. I would love to relive that. What films or TV shows always make you cry? Arrival is a movie that always makes me cry. It gets me. I just love Amy Adams. She can do no wrong. I love her. And that movie is just brilliant. The end, when I could watch it. I'm still surprised when I see it, and it will always make me cry. Ooh, we're getting into the fun ones. What's on your karaoke playlist? Well, my sister and we like to do Before He Cheats by Carrie Underwood. That's a favorite. Or, Summer Lovin', Grease. That's always good. And then when I was young, I vividly remember at a fair at school doing No One by Alicia Keys, but that's a very serious choice. I was 11, and I was belting that out to a a sea of two. You just shot Margot's Got Money Troubles with Nicole Kidman and Michelle Pfeiffer. What can you tell us about that experience? Oh my gosh, well, that was something that all three of us ladies, we got to produce together. And Michelle plays my mom, Nicole plays my lawyer, and it's a really fun show. It's a great book, and I think we just all fell in love with the book. And I'm very excited for people to see it. I love Michelle. I love Nicole so much. And we had the best time. David E. Kelley was our writer on that. And I think it's his first time that he's worked with Michelle, which is pretty cool. So it'll be out soon. But yeah, very, very fun. You and your sister Dakota have a production company together, and you're about to act together in the adaptation of The Nightingale. How does it feel to be working together on and off screen? Yes, I think, we have a production company together called Llewellyn Pictures, and, for a while, because we acted when we were young, and so I think we kind of tried to keep things separate for a while we were growing up, just to make our own marks, so we weren't lumped in together, so we could both discover our own careers separately. But now that we're older, we have really started to merge everything, and I think we're a good yin and yang together. She's kind of my interpreter. I kind of have these big crazy ideas, and she's able to ground me and be logistical with what's possible. So I love producing with her, and we both gravitate towards different things as well, which really evens it out. And The Nightingale, yeah, it's our first time that we're going to be working together. This film's been a long time coming. We were supposed to film it before the pandemic, and it kind of derailed in our schedules. And finally next year, we are going to play sisters in Kristen Hanna's novel, which is it's a show of strength. Two sisters who are they are resisting in different ways, one in a quiet way, one in a more louder way. And you're currently at work on the new Hunger Games movie, Sunrise on the Reaping. How is it going, and what can fans look forward to? Yes, I'm done filming my little section on the film, and it was a blast. I mean, Effie has always been my favorite. I love the Hunger Games movies. The cast is pretty exceptional for Sunrise on the Reaping, and I know I can't, it's like sworn in secrecy, but I can say, the clothes for Effie this time around, they're pretty great. I was like, we have to get the clothes right. But Elizabeth Banks, she gave me flowers, sent me flowers before, and said, may the odds ever be in your favor. So she's blessed this, which is really nice. But she created Effie. She made her the iconic role that she is, and I just hope I can do justice to it. So. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching my Take 10.